Thank you, and good afternoon. Today's a great day to be a Buccaneer. Today is a great day to be part of East Tennessee State University. Today is a day when we celebrate our past, but we look forward to future opportunities to provide greater venues of educational access to students across the region. ETSU has been in the greater Kingsport area for a long time. We have many members of our Board of Advisors at the Allendale facility who are with us here today, and I'd like to thank our Chair, Don Royston, for being with us. We have through that facility provided opportunities for teachers, for nurses, for businessmen, to begin their college experience at a venue close to home. And what we provide with the announcement today is the opportunity for an enhancement of that effort, an opportunity for us to build on the pieces of the puzzle that are in place, and for us to deepen our partnerships and deepen our connections with the citizens of Kingsport, the citizens of Southeast Virginia, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky. ETSU at its core is an institution that exists to serve the region, and we serve that region better than any other institution in the country. In fact, if you go to an elementary school in Sullivan County, in Washington County, in Unicoi County, chances are 9 out of the 10 teachers will have had some experience at ETSU. If you were to go to Eastman Credit Union, if you were to go to the Bank of Tennessee, if you were to go to Eastman and Regent Montgomery, thank you for being here today. We are the heartbeat that powers those captains of industry. We are the heartbeat that, in fact, powers the economy, the health, and the welfare of East Tennessee. And what we do today is another step in deepening that partnership with the region. I want to thank a few folks. I want to thank a number of individuals who have made this possible. I cannot say enough to thank Mayor Dennis Phillips. Mayor Phillips has been more than a partner. He has been a true friend. He has been a champion of our efforts to expand access opportunities for the citizens of Kingsport. I want to thank Janice Gilliam. President Gilliam is opening the doors of her institution to us in the spring. We will be sharing facility space with Northeast State in the spring. We have released an RFP today for a permanent facility in Kingsport, but in the spring, we'll be partnering with Northeast State. And that partnership will continue through all of our operations in Kingsport. We will move students as they complete their education at Northeast State into programs at the junior and senior year at ETSU. We'll be offering graduate programs in downtown Kingsport. But we'll create a truly seamless educational experience that comes from being sister institutions in a world-class system, and that system is the Tennessee Board of Regents. I want to thank Jeff McCord, who has really moved mountains to make this possible. And finally, I want to thank Morris Baker, because Morris has been a tireless champion. When we would hit our nose up against the wall of things at the state level, Morris would say, well, let me think about this. I might be able to find a solution. And Morris would bring us a solution. And when we would hit the next roadblock, Morris would say, well, let me think about this. I think I can find you a solution. Ultimately, Morris's creativity and ingenuity is what gave us a solution in the spring to put courses on the ground that will ultimately lead to our permanent solution, which is a physical space in downtown Kingsport. I mentioned enhancing access opportunities, but we also look to deepen our partnerships with business and industry. Be it the Bank of Tennessee, be it Eastman Credit Union, be it Eastman, be it Domtar. If you are a business and industry who is looking for professional development, is looking for workforce training, reach out to us here at ETSU, because we are here for you. And in fact, our entire team's here today. Our entire team is with us today. Our deans of education, business, our athletics, financial aid, admissions, any question and every question you may have about ETSU, we have the experts here today to help you with answering and addressing those questions. I thank you all for taking the time to be with us. I thank you for the renewed spirit of partnership We are an institution that serves East Tennessee, and we look forward to serving the needs of this region with greater pace, with greater frequency, and with greater intensity in the months and years to come. Before turning to Dr. Bach, I'd like to welcome Mayor Phillips to the stage. Mayor, I don't know if the mic is working, so my voice is going to be a little hoarse from yelling. But I've thanked you once. I'd like to thank you again. I'm not going to buy a Miami license plate cover, but I may buy something to support the Hurricanes. A true friend of East Tennessee State University, even though he has a lot of University of Miami in him, Mayor Dennis Phillips.
It's not my fault you have a Miami tag on the back of your car, but then again, maybe it is my fault. This is truly a dream come true, and I have to ask, if you have served on the board of mayor and alderman in Kingsport, would you stand up? Are serving or have served? This has been going on as long as anyone that stood up has been on the board of mayor. We have been trying to get this done. We know to have the education system that we need in Kingsport, it's going to be very difficult to do it without ETSU. And I can stand here the rest of the day and thank the faculty, the staff, Dr. Nolan, but I think the most important thing that I have noticed, this has been done with enthusiasm. I don't see anyone on the staff of ETSU that I get the impression that this is something that's been forced on them that they didn't want to do willingly. And if you want to be successful, let successful, enthusiastic people come to the front and good things will happen. It's really difficult to vision for the average person what this means for Kingsport, especially downtown Kingsport. It's very conceivable that we could have 2,000 more students to complement the students that we already have from Northeast State, King, LMU, and UT. And working together, great things are going to happen. And you business leaders, we cannot say enough. The financial institutions, all the industry leaders, the board, we have an outstanding board that's worked very hard and put in more hours than you should have to ask any board to put in. But it's all been pleasant, hasn't it, Keith? We've never had any disagreements or had to work hard, but it's been challenging at times, but this is the end result. And again, thanks to all the Board of Mayor and Aldermen that worked so hard on this. Thanks to the ETSU and you as the citizens. This is a wonderful, great day in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Thank you, Mayor Phillips. Now for a little more detail about the program changes that are about to unfold here in downtown Kingsport, I'd like to call forward the university's Chief Academic Officer and Provost, Dr. Bert Bach.
Good afternoon, and let me reiterate what Dr. Nolan and Mayor Phillips said. This is truly a historic day and a day which we face with a good deal of enthusiasm. Let me say first that the addition of the downtown Kingsport site is intended as a major expansion of ETSU's programmatic and student enrollment footprint in Kingsport. Essentially, its goal is to serve Kingsport, to provide affordable public education, to produce baccalaureate and graduate students who complete their degrees, to serve economic development, and thus to fulfill the goals of the recent state act that focuses on the increased number of graduates. The organization chart is going to reflect that ETSU operations in Kingsport will include coordinated offerings at Allendale and at the downtown site. To assure that coordination, Patricia Branham, director at Allendale, will become the administrative head of all ETSU operations in Kingsport, Allendale, and the downtown site. Her responsibility will be to continue programming at Allendale and to plan and facilitate significant new growth at the downtown center. I'm sure most of you know Ms. Branham, but I hope you will talk with her as well as with any of the rest of us from ETSU who are here. Let me ask Patricia Branham to please stand and please be recognized. She's over to my right. The focus for any new programming at the downtown center will be upper division and graduate. The focus for any new programming at Allendale will be lower division. Our general assumption to date is that business, education, and nursing are prime areas likely to draw students, though I would underscore that we're exploring a number of additional areas. Let me now comment briefly on 3 areas of our planned downtown programming. Number 1, programming at ETSU's downtown operations will be cohort-based. That is, we will be seeking to recruit enrollment in program cohorts rather than simply listing course offerings and hoping that people will select them. We know that students who enroll in cohorts are much more likely to persist and graduate. Thus, we see downtown Kingsport as a major strategy for which we pursue the objectives of the recent act in Tennessee, focusing on that outcome. Second, the intent is that service to students in downtown Kingsport will be improved through a one-stop shop approach that minimizes need for travel and interacting with administrative offices in Johnson City. This will take a while to become optimal, but we hope to be able to provide admissions and registration and financial aid and fee payment in a streamlined fashion. Ms. Branham has attempted, where possible, to employ this concept of one-stop shop at Allendale in a limited manner, and she will be working with a number of individuals to realize the full potential of the one-stop shop. Third, we have thought a good deal about recruiting students, but we expect to learn a great deal from you. We will be ramping up in the spring of 2013 with a significant number of offerings on ground and online that I will describe in a moment. Those offerings will significantly increase in 2013-14 when we will have our own space. Let me emphasize that ETSU representatives are going to be at contiguous tables all around this hall. And we really hope that you will look at these tables, talk to these individuals in their area of responsibility, talk to them about what are your ideas as to things which they should be familiar. Now, we believe enrollment potential can be realized in downtown Kingsport by 5 strategies. First, permitting an opportunity for students who've begun college as freshmen or sophomores at Allendale to continue as juniors and seniors in downtown Kingsport. Second, working closely with Northeast State to be sure that we offer upper division courses that build on their associate degrees and address market demand. Our goal is to have seamless transfer from Northeast State, to encourage dual enrollment when it makes sense, and to provide strong advisement for students who plan to transfer to ETSU. Third, working with Kingsport business, industry, city government, and healthcare agencies to respond to workforce needs for affordable baccalaureate and graduate programs. You can expect considerable analysis and marketing for future development. And as I said, we have deans and others representing all our programs here this afternoon. Now would be a good time for you to meet them, to share any ideas you have as to programs that would serve your community or your business or other interests. The individuals here around the hall also represent undergraduate admissions, graduate admissions, financial aid, e-learning, continuing education and cohort programs, and other matters about which you may have interest. Next, we will be working hard to attract students from neighboring states with good proximity to Kingsport and seeking to facilitate their enrollment. Specifically, we will work with Virginia counties that enjoy border county tuition rates to attract students who will find participation in cohorts in downtown Kingsport attractive. And fifth, we will be asking the Office of Kingsport Operations, Trish Branham, our offices of undergraduate and graduate admissions, our e-learning and online program contacts, our alumni office, and our cohort program recruiters to collaborate in order to assure that we market and recruit students as effectively as possible. So, how are we going to get started this spring? What kinds of courses can you expect here? What kinds of access? Let's talk first about nursing. Nursing is going to coordinate activities on ground in Kingsport at set appointment times which will be established. They will provide advisement for nursing students and prospective students. They will hold an open house to determine particular interests. This spring, nursing will offer 3 on-ground graduate courses that will serve as components of either a Master of Nursing program or of the BSN to DNP. The market will determine which of those programs is most attractive to this area, but the courses that are being offered will be applicable to both, and Dean Nearing is here and can speak at length to that issue. Nursing will also be providing continuing education courses for nurses on ground in Kingsport in spring 2013, and will conduct in the spring a needs assessment for additional RN to BSN or for graduate program cohorts that will be offered. Second, the College of Education. There are going to be very robust offerings by the College of Education this spring. In the Department of Curriculum Instruction, the BSED in Interdisciplinary Studies K through 6 will be offered as an accelerated 2+2 program with Northeast State, so that if students enroll consecutively, including the summer, they can complete the program by spring of 2014. We will be offering significant online and on-ground courses. A Master of Education in Reading, the reading education concentration, but with targeted recruitment in the Kingsport area. We will offer that as both online and blended programs, hybrid, on-ground and online here. The Master of Education in Educational Media and Educational Technology. 2 concentrations, Courses will be offered one online and one on ground in the spring. The Department of Ed Leadership, the EDD in Educational Leadership, Post-Secondary and Private Sector Leadership, a cohort will be recruited here in Kingsport. 2 courses will be marketed for the spring. The Master of Education and Educational Leadership Student Personnel concentration courses will be offered in the spring in that program. Third, the College of Business. We will be recruiting in Kingsport Bachelor of Business Administration cohorts in marketing and in management. Students will be able to pursue the entire business core curriculum on ground in Kingsport, 2 courses a semester. These will be night courses. We will schedule advisement sessions plus email. All courses to take the entire majors will be offered in management and marketing together. Those online together with the core courses that will be offered on ground here. In spring, this spring, we will be offering a management course, organizational behavior and finance, a 300-level course, and a finance course, business finance. All of those business core courses will be offered on ground here in Kingsport. We will be exploring a master's degree in technology in the spring, a bachelor's in technology to look at linkages with existing programs. And Dean Garceau, you may wish to speak with her. We will be exploring offering the MBA with anticipation to begin offering in the fall of 2013. That MBA program offered both on ground and online. The College of Arts and Sciences, we're working with Northeast State Community College to find majors that would easily articulate with those programs, specifically a program in criminal justice. An undergraduate program that has been significant at Allendale will move here, but with the understanding that lower division programming in other areas will be moved to Allendale to replace it. And finally, in the College of Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences, Dean Scherer is committing to marketing and establishing a cohort, a greater presence for the BS in Allied Health completion, articulation, and dual enrollment here. She will be working specifically with Northeast State Community College with respect to enrollment in radiography, etc. We believe some of these programs will be particularly attractive in the entire region. These are our plans today.
Thank you, Dr. Bach. As you can tell, there's an elaborate array of upper division classes and graduate level classes that'll be coming your way in downtown. Very quickly, I want to introduce some folks and have them stand so you'll know that they are here with us and involved with this process. One of the folks that I would like to introduce at this time is and make sure to recognize the ETSU Kingsport Advisory Committee and Mr. Don Royston, who is seated over here with Trish. Don, thank you and for your help. You know, we're just moving some programs down here that are highlights and natural fits to the academic village. But we've still got that facility that's been around here, Mayor, for a long time that you'll know. I appreciate it. Was great for you to recognize the current Board of Mayor and Aldermen and other leaders. And there were some folks earlier on that made some same kind of noise these folks are today. Fellows by the name of McCune and Welch. And Jim Welch Jr. is here. We were just talking a little bit ago about how proud his dad would be of the continuing legacy of ETSU here. I would would like to recognize a couple of the folks that are with us from the ETSU community that are here with us. Also, if you want to buy a ticket for a ball game, we have some folks here that would love to talk to you about that. We have Athletic Director Dave Mullins here. Dave, raise your hand. One of the other folks that's responsible for any of our growth and changes in the university is our Vice President for Health Affairs and Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Wilsie Bishop. I was told that she's on loan to Johnson City since she used to live in Kingsport. Also standing next to her, I'd like to recognize Dr. Jane Jones, the Chief of Staff for Dr. Nolan. Also, I'd like to recognize the deans. You know, as far as us bringing academic programs, nothing can happen without the support of the deans and the other academic leadership. Dr. Linda Garceau, College of Business and Technology. Dr. Hal Knight, over to my far left, your far right. From the Claudius Clemmer School of Education, and you all know the Clemmer name better than I do from here in Kingsport. Also standing next to Dr. Knight is Dr. Gordon Anderson, the Dean of Arts and Sciences. Over here on the other side, I think, is Dr. Wendy Nearing, our Dean of the College of Nursing. Also, as a part of these programs, I'm not sure that it's very clear, but you know, how we deliver a class today is very different than we would have back when I was a student, and some of you will recall. But the online delivery system is an important part of the array of things we do to get classes to people. And over here at a table to the left, you'll see Jennifer Nuss Clements and the folks with ETSU Online, and Dr. David Curry from eLearning. Thank you all for being here. And standing nearby there is Dr. Deborah Joyner, who is the organizer of many of the cohorts that we're talking about for these programs. Now, the other part of the commercial I must give you is that this is a chance to give us names and give us ideas of people. Oh, I've left one out. Excuse me, I jumped off and missed the dean. Dr. Nancy Shearer, Dean of, Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences. My apologies, ma'am. See what I get for going off script. Dr. Ramona Williams and the enrollment management team are seated at some of the tables over here, and Ramona's in the back. We want to tell you that if there's a financial aid opportunity and other things, we will, at admissions questions, those folks will answer that. Also, standing back toward the back, for those of folks that are looking at the graduate opportunities, Dr. Cecilia McIntosh, the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies. And her folks are here to talk to you about grad school opportunities and what might be available in that offering as well. Now at this time, so you can continue to visit and meet with one another, we'll bring back the Bluegrass Band and continue with some music. And I'll give you time to visit with each other and enjoy the refreshments. And thank you again for being with us.